it to be in all caps. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10004, State versus Tyler Ashbaugh. And actually, it's more.
So to wrap this up, the judge carefully reviewed Tyler Ashby's financial state, heard testimony from family, and weighed the law before approving his request for a free trial record. That decision gives Tyler a fighting chance on appeal, even if the odds remain steep. What do you think? Should appeals like this be automatically granted for defendants with no money? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
This is a request for a record, a court reporter's record for purposes of appeal. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And parties could announce.
Melissa Alvin for the state.
And Dana Jones for Mr. Ashbaugh.
All right. So the court was in receipt of a motion for the record on September 8th, 2025. It was presented to the court. The court reviewed it, found that it was insufficient to determine whether or not the defendant was able to afford the record. Defense counsel provided a supplemental motion. And State, have you had a chance to review the supplemental motion?
We have, Your Honor. I, as well as my colleague Nathan Maury in our appellate division.
Okay. All right. Let me review the.
Notice how quickly the courtroom shifts gears here. 1 minute, it's about financial indigency. The next, it's a completely different defendant and case management juggling act. This shows how chaotic dockets can be. Judges, attorneys, and clerks juggling dozens of moving pieces at once. For viewers at home, this is the behind-the-scenes grind of criminal justice that often gets overlooked in the drama of trials.
So here's the court's question. Because in order to sign a motion granting somebody a free record, it has to be established that the person doesn't have the funds to pay for a record. And in the affidavit of indigency that I'm assuming was made by the defendant while he was in custody. So having the affidavit of indigency notarized doesn't need to be since he's in custody. But it says, I do not have sufficient money. What does that mean? Does he have any money? Does he have zero money? Does he have a bank account? What's in the bank account? And I understand I do not have sufficient property. Again, what does that mean? Or sufficient assets of any kind. So do you have anything with regards to that, or anything to put on the record with regards to that?
Yes, Your Honor. We filed a supplemental motion for the record. So normally a prima facie evidence is the defendant signing an affidavit saying I don't have sufficient funds to pay for the record. The state has not rebutted that or presented anything, and they're agreed. But then I filed supplemental motion for the record, again attaching the defendant's declaration of indigency with the second exhibit. And you have the motion, Your Honor?
Yes, I did.
The second exhibit is the defendant's father, although not biological father or legally adopted father. He is the man who has raised him because Tyler's mom was always homeless, and he's raised him since he was 7, explaining that Tyler has no money, that the father has been helping support Tyler and his wife for quite a while when he was unable to pay, leading up to his trial and his conviction. And he was convicted in July and has been sentenced to a term of 15 years. So he's been able to work and earn an income at that point. The father also explains that he doesn't have any owns any property or anything like that that he could sell or even use as collateral for transcripts. His wife, Tatiana Martinez de Escobar, has also provided a declaration where she explains that she's not been able to work since his conviction and sentence, that she's providing for their 6-year-old and 18-month-old children, but she has having to live with her parents who are supporting them financially. And then she pulled up Tyler's bank statements for me. And
here's where it gets interesting. The judge isn't satisfied with vague claims like, I don't have sufficient money. She wants hard facts, bank accounts, property, every scrap of proof. This moment highlights a big legal point. Indigency affidavits aren't just about saying you're broke, you have to prove it. What do you think? Should the burden be this strict, or is it unfair to defendants who truly have nothing?
I have
Which exhibit is the bank statement?
Exhibit 4.
Okay.
And there's the Varo is who he banks with, and it lists that he has 1 cent to his name, 1 penny. And then he also has one credit card with Credit Human that has a balance or an amount of $5,000, but he currently only has $169 available on that credit card. So he has more debt than he does have any funds in any of his bank accounts, and he also has no ability to earn an income right now as well.
All right, any objection to the court asking the court reporter a question?
No, Your Honor.
Cindy, do you remember this case, Tyler Ashfall?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you tell me, is the cost of the record going to be more than $169.25?
Yes.
All right, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
And state you have no objection, I'm assuming, to the court signing the motion?
We do not.
Let me find the order.
I didn't attach one to that pleading. I can give you one. I have them. Do you have one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from the defense.
All right,
Your Honor.
thank you.
Thank you. And are we off the record? To get a copy of it, do you want me to go to the back?
Yes, you'll have to, well, I'm gonna hand it to the
Clerk,
clerk and then she'll tell you what you need to do.
Thank you.
Just give me a moment, I have to put something in the record. All right, Adriana?
Yes,
All right, so who do you have?
It's on Quinones from this morning. My other cases of plea, you already have paperwork in.
Let me find Keanu's.
That's the ag seg guy that,
Okay. All right, Mr. Keanu's.
he's in jail.
I asked Mr. Maurer if he wanted him still because there's different people than 1.5 and he said no.
All right,
My issue is after my plea, I'm supposed to be at Almost Park PD to review evidence on
no,
Smithson case.
but we were here for disposition.
Now, this is jaw-dropping. The defense lays it out. Tyler's got literally 1 penny in his bank account, a mountain of credit card debt, and 0 income behind bars. His father's testimony and wife's statement back it up. This man is flat broke. It's one of those moments where the courtroom goes from technical paperwork to raw human reality. Would you say this evidence seals the deal, or could the state still push back?
On this case, is there still going to be a disposition?
Well, the issue is the case we've been coming to court on, he was indicted on. The state, I think we discussed, is going to need to be dismissed. There's no complainant. He just got indicted, I think, yesterday.
Last
on a-
week, but
last week on a
at
new
the end of
case.
last week.
And so I guess I'm assigned to that case.
All right, is the new case the unlawful possession?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can you make sure that he's assigned to the unlawful possession?
And if you can bring him back, I haven't seen any of the discovery, but Melissa brought the file. So if we can bring him tomorrow, I'll go over it with him.
We can bring him back on Thursday.
I've got to be in Kerrville. Can we do Friday?
No. Norma? If we recall it for tomorrow, you'll need to be here at 9.
I can be here at 8:30.
Okay, we're not doing that, but
8:45. Judging by my pleasant relationship and conversations with the gentleman, I'm sure things are going to go great.
all right, Norma. Recall this tomorrow for 7:30.
I'll be here.
And she's like, no, I'm out. Recall it for tomorrow at 9.
Ask Daryl about when Rainey told us to be in court at 8 o'clock for an MTR. And I was there with my client, and Angelina found the allegation not true. My guy walked out. There was Daryl walking down the hall, and I said, Daryl, in life, timing is everything.
No.
We were actually on time.
Oh. All right, and Norma, on that one, if you can make sure that both of those cases are on the docket. Yes. All right, who is next? Nicholas Vaquera. Hello. Hi. Let me just find him on the docket.
Page 9, 4 down.
Thank you. Okay, so what time are you supposed to be here this morning?
At 9. I was here, but I went to the restroom and came back. There were still people outside.
Okay, what I can tell you is when I called the docket, you didn't answer. So here's the thing. When you're here at 9 a.m., if you need to go to the restroom, all you have to do is let the deputy know. Otherwise, I'm going to call the docket. And when you don't answer, I'm going to assume you're not here because you're not here. And a warrant could be issued for your arrest. You understand?
Understood.
All right. So where are we on this case?
I think we need another reset for discovery, Your Honor. During the time that this case was being investigated by SAPD, the victim had a scene exam done and DNA samples were taken of her, but they could not locate the defendant to get his buccal swab. And I mentioned that with his counsel, and I made the detective aware of that so that he can work on a warrant for that and hopefully schedule a time with the defendant and his counsel to meet to obtain that swab from him so they can send it to the lab to do the DNA comparison tests.
All right. And then are there any CPS records in this case?
More than one. Yes, we'll double check on that too. And if they are not disclosed, I will make sure and get those ordered and disclosed.
All right. So if you'll
Yes.
file the protective order now, so it'll be done.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any other discovery issues that you know of?
Not to my knowledge, Your Honor.
All right. And state any cell phone issues?
I believe that's actually already done. That's been disclosed.
And those have been turned over to the state?
For the defense, yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, to the defense. All right. Norma, I need a 30-day reset for discovery.
October 23rd.
All right, we'll be back on October 23rd. Make sure you're here at 9, okay? All right, just have a seat. They'll bring.
Welcome back to the courtroom, folks. Today we're diving into the case of State versus Tyler Ashby, and things get tense quick. At stake is whether Tyler can get a free trial record for his appeal. Sounds simple, right? But the judge isn't playing around. Every dollar, every penny of Tyler's finances is about to be dragged into the spotlight. Stick with us because this one reveals how even the smallest detail, literally 1 cent, can sway the scales of justice.